Good evening, welcome to DragonCon Update. I'm your host, Will Burkhalter. We are live here from the Blood Drive. Tonight we're coming at you with some special guests, and that's why we're here live at the Blood Drive, so that you can check out everything that's going on. As you can see behind me, the Blood Drive is already in full swing. We're going to talk about the Blood Drive throughout the show, but we're saving our guests for the Blood Drive at the end. But I want to start with a few announcements. The very first announcement I want to say is thank you. This is a special thank you to My Little Devil at the America's Mart. They allowed us to film the late show last night so that we could actually come to you live from the vendor hall. And so you can find them in booth 1517 there on the first floor of the America's Mart. And I also want to kind of highlight, if you missed the show, you can always show up for the DragonCon, you can always watch and show up via the DragonCon streaming membership, which is available for $10, and you can actually get that at DragonCon.TV. You can see that streaming membership. It should have just popped up on your screen. Now, the alternate and historical fiction track invites all of the storytellers, truth weavers, and historians to tell us the truth, and even maybe, give us a yarn, with the most glorious orator winning a prize. That will not be me. I have to say, I'm not the most glorious orator, but bring your best tale, bring your, your truth, and actually, there's going to be a great panel of very nearly experts there for you who are going to be judging it for the night, and it's fun. It's at 8 p.m. at the Cortland Grand in the Macon Room. Now, the Cortland Grand, remember, is the old Sheraton. We don't call it the Sheraton anymore. I think there's snipers looking for me if I call it that. So it's the Cortland Grand, and we'll be there tonight at 8 p.m. Now, it's only Thursday, but I have my steps in for the week already, thanks to the DragonCon Hustle. If you have signed up for the Hustle, then you can turn in your steps for a medal, and actually have the medal this year for you to look at. It is so cool. This medal, each year the design for the medal is based on the winning track, and this year the medal features the costuming track. So this is really cool. You see the medal on your screen there, and there's the QR code if you want to sign up, and it is wonderful. Now, last year's DragonCon guest that we had, if you remember, we had Kenneth Mead, and he is back this year at DragonCon selling his book, Something Wicked. You can get that in the America's Mart Building 2 on level 3 at the Side Street Book Market booth. I can't say that very fast. And of course, you'll find that at 3201 and 3203, but he's also giving tours of the scenes from his book, which is set here at DragonCon. Kenneth assures us if you haven't read the book tour will be spoiler free, and of course it's cost free. And you can see that he says it'll take about an hour depending on con traffic, but it'll also be a great way to learn about the con if you're a first time con goer. So I think that's pretty cool. Kenneth is awesome. You can also check our interview out on DCTV via that streaming membership. And of course, stop by the booth between 11 and 2 tomorrow, Friday, or on Saturday to see times and go about the tour. Online, you can find him via his Instagram or his website. That's at kennethmead.com. kennethmead.com. You can find him there. Now, I want to go ahead and take you into our first guest of the night, which I'm really excited to talk about. We have with us Kristen Connors. Kristen, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Now that I have you here, I am doing fantastic. Kristen is representing our charity partner this year, Cure Childhood Cancer, and it's such an important charity. DragonCon is matching up to $125,000. That's the biggest DragonCon has ever done to our charity partner this year. Can you tell us a little bit, what is Cure Childhood Cancer?
Well, our mission is in our name, thankfully. We really are all about helping children who are suffering with cancer and their families. Our most urgent priority is to advance treatments for these kids and make sure that they have better outcomes, and that the treatments that they are given don't cause them to lose quality of life down the road. So we've made great progress in the 17 years that I've been at Cure with that. And then we also really come around families who are going through this really difficult experience and provide all kinds of tangible support for them.
Absolutely. And I think that we were talking a bit before the show, and we were just talking, everyone has a personal experience, and it's surprising how many children and families are affected by this. One of the things that you said that really struck me was that we talk about cancer in the broad sense a lot, but we don't talk about cancer as much with children, and your organization really has that focus. How did that come about? What brought that?
Well, the organization was founded in 1975 by the first pediatric oncologist who came to Atlanta.
Wow.
He came to Emory, and there was no specialists here before that, no childhood cancer research program, and so he founded the organization.
Oh, that's great.
But, you know, I was sharing that I have a child who was diagnosed at a month old, and I had no idea that pediatric cancers were so different, and they are actually biologically different from cancers that affect adults. And the reason that's important is because all of the research that we pour into to solve adult cancers doesn't really help the children.
Absolutely.
And so our organization is solely focused on pediatric cancers and, you know, advancing research and getting better treatments for those specific cancers that affect kids.
I think that is, that's so wonderful. And I think that, thank you for sharing your story with us, because that it's such an impactful thing. And I want people out there to recognize how just a donation can help.
Oh,
and even a blood donation. We are here at the blood drive.
Yes.
How does this affect Cure Childhood Cancer?
Yeah, I mean, I'm blown away by what I see here and the number of people that are
amazing.
Just so generous. I've experienced that all day, but at the blood drive in particular, our kids who are going through cancer treatment need blood transfusions all the time.
And we're seeing a little bit on the
screen
right now. We're seeing, you know, the donations. We're seeing different people going on and happily giving blood. Here we're seeing plasma and platelet donations.
Oh, and platelets in particular are something that kids with going through cancer treatment need quite frequently. So this absolutely directly impacts the kids that we serve and that you all are helping.
So you can help cure childhood cancer not just by donating money, which is fantastic. Please, if you can, donate that. We're going to match $125,000 this year. But you can also help by donating blood, and I think that that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
We've actually got a QR code here to help donate to Cure Childhood Cancer there. And I want to talk a couple things about your organization, and more importantly about what fantastic work that you've done. If you have a message, a single thing that you could say to help people understand what you do, what is that message?
Well, I mean, I think that a single message is I would just say that believe that you really can make a difference. When your $5, I can't tell you how many wonderful people have stopped today and told us how important it is to them and how much it means to them that you're supporting childhood cancer. Your $5 can go together with someone else's $5, and we can get to $250,000, and that just makes a tremendous difference in our ability to really help these families. So
I think that's great.
A little bit goes a long way when we all do it. So
the last thing I want to talk to you about is your shirt.
Yes.
It's so cool, and you know, you were telling me that the logo is has some interesting information behind it. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, so it's Be Courageous. Every child needs a hero, and we actually put it out to our families and asked for ideas. And so this was concepted by one of the families that we serve, and all of our staff and our friends who are here will be wearing these.
That's great.
We also have our Cure ducks and our Cure badge ribbons, and so I love to present these to you, and you can proudly
how cool. I'll be putting that on my
it.
badge.
So be looking for us. We're going to be around all weekend, and we have these for you guys, and we're just so grateful and thrilled to be here.
Kristen, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you on here today.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you to Cure Childhood Cancer for being with us this year. I want to actually talk a little bit about our correspondent Vaughn, who actually was able to go to the DragonCon Heroes and Lauren's Run and Picnic, which actually benefited Cure Childhood Cancer. So let's take a look.
Hey guys, greetings. My name is Vaughn, and I'm here at DragonConTV News, and I am here at the Lawrence Run and Picnic, and we're going to be seeing what the DragonCon superheroes are up to at this event, and we're just going to find out what's going on here. So let's check it out. I'm here with Miss Jody Pace, the director of charity events for DragonCon. One of the groups that is here is DragonCon Superheroes. What is that?
DragonCon Superheroes is where a lot of DragonCon volunteers come together and do good into the community. We always like to support the community because the community is what built up DragonCon and made it what it is. So everybody comes together. We do different things. We've worked in parks to clean them up. We've worked at different charities and helped them do a day of labor and clean up and paint and we do all sorts of things.
Of course, we're here with DragonCon Superheroes. What is the official DragonCon charity of 2023?
We are so excited about our official DragonCon charity of 2023. It is Cure Childhood Cancer. They are lovely.
So what type of things are y'all doing out here at this event, the Lawrence Run and Picnic?
So today we are at Lawrence Run, which is a fundraiser for Cure Childhood Cancer. We're doing things like running the amusement booths and the inflatables and the rock wall. So this is one of their yearly things to fundraise and support the families that have children that have childhood cancer.
I do want to be a part of DragonCon Superheroes, but do I have to dress up? Do I have to cosplay as anything?
You don't have to cosplay, but it is a plus. But what you can do is you go to DragonCon.org and go to participate, and then look for the superhero on the drop down. And you can follow the link and keep up to date. There's a way to get emails so you get notified. And we do all sorts of things all year round.
Well, thank you so much, and I hope you have fun the rest of the day.
Thank you. We will.
I am here with Miss Kristen Connor, the CEO. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
So can you tell us what is the Lawrence Run and Picnic?
Sure. Well, it's a 5K, 2K, and tot trot, followed by, as you can see, an enormous, wonderful family picnic. And our families who are battling childhood cancer, they come, and then the community also comes and just supports them, and we have a great day while also raising money to fight childhood cancer. Cure Childhood Cancer is an organization that's really, we're looking to solve cancers which affect children, and Lawrence Run and Picnic is one of our big events. Every year, we come together to remember two little girls named Lauren who died as a result of cancer, and they really represent all of our, warriors who are fighting or have fought childhood cancer.
This year, you're partnering with DragonCon as the charity of choice. How does that feel, and what does that entail?
Oh, well, we could not be more thrilled and just honored to be partnering with DragonCon this year. We have many DragonCon folks here as serving as volunteers, and we're just so honored to be working with you guys.
It's a lot going on out here. I want to be a part of it next year. How can one participate? How can one fundraise? How can one just be a part of everything that's going on around here?
Well, we'd love that. Go to curechildhoodcancer.org and you'll see all the information about Lawrence Run. It's always at the end of April, so follow us on social media. There's a lot of information that we'll be putting out there about signing up to volunteer, and we'd love to have you.
Thank you again for having this event. This is my first time coming, so it's amazing to see all this out here.
Well,
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
How does it feel to be a part of the superheroes group?
I get to translate some of the energy that I have for pop culture and love of everything to just people, socializing with folks, and I get to just kind of compound the love, love for people around me, for nerd culture, but then of course just, children and just giving back to the community. So it's pretty neat.
How does it feel to be a DragonCon superhero?
Oh man, it is so exciting to be out here. I volunteered in a lot of different ways with DragonCon, but to be here at Lawrence Run, being able to see these kids and engage with them and their families is spectacular.
How does it feel to be a DragonCon superhero at one of these events?
Well, I think it's quite lovely, really. It's so nice seeing all the smiles on everyone's face and hopefully making their day just a little bit brighter.
I just like being someone that the kids could look up to and spreading positive energy. It's been a lot of fun today.
I like escaping from Neverland. Peter Pan can be a bit crazy at sometimes. So can the pirates. But I love the mainland. It's so beautiful here.
I didn't know I was a superhero, so this is kind of an honor. A fairy, a superhero, role model for kids. I just love being able to spread so much joy to everyone.
Fairy godmother here. I love it because I love to bring joy and happiness wherever I can.
Once again, guys, we want to thank Ms. Connor, the CEO of this event, and also Ms. Pace, who was able to talk to us and tell us what the DragonCon Superheroes was about and the different types of things that they were doing. Signing off, I'm Vaughn from DragonConTV. Y'all have a good time. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I get flustered around so much beauty. All right, anyway. Gosh, what was the question?
That was a fantastic video, and we had a great time being there at that event. And of course, thank you to Vaughn for all that hard work and talking to everyone. I want to actually introduce our very next guest without any further ado. This is Galen. Am I pronouncing it right? Yunold?
That is perfect.
Perfect. I love that. That is my
perfect.
And I didn't even try it earlier. This was a true test of the last name. Well, Galen, thank you for joining us here today. It's a pleasure to have you. This is, I think you said your 15th year at the Blood Drive?
20th.
20th year. Oh my goodness.
But this is our 20th anniversary. We started in 2003, and what a ride.
That is amazing. I saw in our video earlier that we had, we showed the Blood Drive participation banner, and it started in 2003 with 58 people, I believe. How many are you expecting to have this year?
4,000.
4,000.
We're really hopeful, and with your help, we're going to break that 4,000 mark. And what's remarkable is somewhere in this donation area, could be in this room, is our 50,000th donor.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now. And
50,000?
50,000.
Oh, wow.
And it's really hard to put that in perspective. Our average blood drive is about 18. Right, 18 blood donors.
Wow.
And so just this weekend alone, over these 5 days, we're getting 4,000. So
That's amazing.
DragonCon is, you've been here a long time. It's a special place, and they do a lot of great things. From the charity this year is curing childhood cancer. We are the sole blood provider for CHOA. Here locally.
Wow.
We're the sole blood provider for about 6 different children's hospitals across the Southeast.
That's amazing.
Including Moffitt Cancer Center. And so it's cancer and the cancer treatment. Those patients need
the
a lot
banner's
of,
right there for it, yes.
And those patients need a lot of platelets and blood products in general. And it's really cool of what DragonCon does. And a lot of people look, I'm here for the costumes.
Speaking of costumes, look what we have on the screen right now.
Yeah, that's our HEMA. He's HEMA, a big blood drop.
Big blood drop, that's
really
awesome.
Really cool. And the t-shirt this year made by Brooklyn Smith is incredible. It just pops.
Well,
right.
And you had said that we've had several years of t-shirts, and there's so many awesome t-shirts that you've done. How did you choose Brooklyn's t-shirt this year?
Last year I met her at the art show, and we struck up a conversation, and it's one of those things where you get someone's card and you hope and pray they're still willing to do it.
Yes.
Because Brooklyn doesn't make any money, right? They donate the art. And she made a custom piece for us, and
oh wow,
it's just gorgeous, and they're willing to work with us. And if you look at all of our shirts over the last 20 years, we've had some really remarkable artists, and we always try to have somebody who's connected to DragonCon.
Sure.
Because we want them to get it, right? You have to understand
so
who our
how do
market
they get
is.
the shirt? Is it just do they buy the shirt? What do they do?
To get the shirt, all you have to do is roll up your sleeve and donate blood and save 3 lives.
That's amazing.
It's very
so
simple.
Give blood, get a t-shirt. It's on the screen for you right now.
That's right. And again, we have an appointment. You can make an appointment online. That's what I would recommend. That way you're get through this line the quickest. Donate on Saturday during the parade. I know the parade's a huge deal, but if you do, you get a special carpet pin, and there is absolutely no line. So please, come see us.
That's awesome. And I see that pin on the screen.
Yeah.
I see that QR code that'll take you right to Life South's appointment.
Yeah, and every person with an appointment gets that special pin. And you know what pins are in DragonCon.
They
are.
Like
that lanyard.
You got to have that lanyard, all the pins everywhere.
Absolutely.
We talked this year, you said 4,000 is your goal. What was last year? How did last year's go?
Last year we did about 3,400. And so This year, more people are attending. We brought a little bit more staff, and thanks to the help of DragonConTV, we can get there.
Well, and I know that last year, and especially in 2021, and obviously with 2020 with the pandemic, how had that impacted you last year and the year before especially?
Yeah, you know, we've taken Labor Day weekend as a holiday for granted. You know, for example, a hurricane went right through the heart of our donation area in Florida this week. In our mind, we were like, you know, we're going to be okay because we have DragonCon, right? Because of DragonCon, Life South hasn't had a blood shortage over one of the worst blood holidays over Labor Day weekend in 20 years.
Oh my goodness.
And that's because, and the people, it's, you know, we're all family, and these people are on vacation and they're donating blood.
I mean,
right? Think about that.
It's wonderful. Can you tell me, we were talking earlier as I was getting some of that footage to show, what's the difference between blood, plasma, platelets? Tell me what that is.
Yeah, it's a great question. And each of those components, that's why we could say we have 3 lives. So when you donate whole blood, we break those up into 3 different components.
So here, what's going on the screen right there?
So what they're doing here, this is where the donation is over and they're starting to process it and segment it for our components manufacturing up in Dunwoody. Here is just the donation area. That's our apheresis area where they're donating platelets. Platelets go to cancer patients, right, specifically. And here you can see the blood boxed up, ready to go for further manufacturing and testing. And, you know, platelets, again, go to cancer patients. Plasma goes to trauma patients. So if you're in an accident or lose a lot of blood, you're going to get plasma, right? Because it's the bulk of your blood supply. And then the red cells go to people who are undergoing surgeries, and that's what we use the most of. So that's what's going to carry oxygen, just to ensure that you're safe and happy. And what I always tell people is, you're going to need, if you need blood, if the blood's not there, you'll never need it again.
Yeah.
And thankfully, for blood drives like this and blood donors like the people at DragonCon, we're able to meet that need.
That is phenomenal. And I want to talk real quick about, you know, we talked about signing up. We talked about the restrictions being lifted. You know, we've had this going on for 20 years. If we were to be 20 years in the future, what would your hope be? What would your dream be for what Life South does here?
I hope I'm still here. I expect to be. I've been here for over 20. You know, Pat Henry and I were just talking about it. He's the one who started this whole thing. What he really wants is he wants us to have more blood mobiles because we're kind of cramped on space.
Okay.
He wants the blood drive to double. And I think we can do that. You know, as an organization, if you would have told me 20 years ago that one day we'll draw 4,000, I'd be amazed. So in 20 years, if we could draw 8,000, I would be absolutely floored. But I think we can do it because these are the best people in the world. Where else do you go where you're in the elevator and everybody's happy?
I think that the thing you said earlier that struck me the most is how giving blood saves 3 lives.
Yeah.
And that's such a, like, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that. It's very, it's such a big deal.
It is.
If you were to have, we asked Kristen from Cure Childhood Cancer, we just had her on, we asked her if she had one single message. What would your message be? If you had to say just, you know, one single message to get someone to come out here and donate blood, what would it be?
Well, give blood, because there is no substitute for a human being's blood. The only way that a patient is going to get out of a hospital is with you donating, and I do mean you. I need you to roll up your sleeve and give the gift of life and donate blood. And let's be honest, most of us aren't in a position to save any lives, much less 3. With one small donation, you're going to save 3 lives. And those 3 lives can be your next door neighbor, can be your child. I can get emotional on some stories, but just save a life. Because that's what you do when you come through here. That's why the line is worth it. It's not about the t-shirt. It's about the life at the under end of that unit. And one more thing, every unit that's donated here will be in another human being's body within 48 hours.
Oh my goodness.
That's the state of our blood supply. It's about a 3-day. So in 48 hours, the unit you give today will be in another human being's body.
I think
that's pretty powerful.
That's very powerful. I couldn't have put it in words better. I think that's just amazing. You've got me emotional about this. I think
good. Donate blood.
Donate blood. It's life-giving.
It is.
So here's the t-shirt you're going to get.
Yep.
You'll get that pin if you use the registration. And of course, you'll be here all weekend, right? Through Monday at 5
absolutely.
p.m.?
9 to 2, but that's okay.
There we go.
I probably made that typo. Yeah, 9 to 2 on Monday. We're tired by then.
There we go. Galen, thank you so
Oh,
much.
you guys are the best. Thank you
We
guys.
appreciate having us here, and thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. You guys are the best. Thank you.
And so we're going to transition here in just a minute. We actually want to go ahead and talk to our next guest in just a moment. So I want to first highlight here, you can see there's so much going on behind me here. We have a lot happening here at DragonCon. And we're going to be talking to our next guest, who's actually our key artist this year. And he has a very special reveal for us. So we're going to go ahead and show you that video one more time of donating blood. So take a look at, the line is long, but it is so worthwhile. You can actually save 3 lives today, 3 lives within the next 48 hours. And it is such an important role. I can't explain to you how much it can make a difference. And whether it's blood, plasma, whether you're talking about platelets, anything you can do will save a life, and it makes such a difference. Thank you. And we're going to go ahead and talk with Tim here in just a moment, because I think that we're at the blood drive, which is one of the most important things, but I also think that the key cards that we have, that we have here at DragonCon, the art is just fantastic. And I want to highlight that. So we're going to go ahead and go right to our guest. Welcome to Tim. Hey, Tim.
Hi.
I'm Will. It's nice to meet you.
Will, very nice to meet you.
Welcome to DragonCon, of course, and I love those glasses. I love your shirt, but most importantly, I love your art.
Oh, nice.
So tell me about this year's art here at DragonCon. You drew it. I mean, it's amazing, right? And I believe this is the first year we've had all 5 host hotels having unique pieces of art. So tell me about that. It's a huge process. We see something on the screen right there for you.
There. I brought a print, but I don't have to. So Jamie Reeves, who I don't know if you know, he approached me last year. Last year was my first year doing this show.
Okay.
And he was looking at my art. He said, I've always wanted to do this thing where we show an image across all the different key cards. And would you be up for that? I said, yes. And so, here we are. So we got prints of them. It didn't just show it. Anyway.
How long did it take you? I mean, you did everything. You did from the inking, coloring, everything?
So I penciled it, inked it, arranged it, and my friend Mark Englert, who is a poster artist and also comic book artist and colorist, he did the coloring for me.
That's amazing.
Because it came down to the wire, and Mark pinch hit for me and knocked it out. He's fantastic.
I think it's amazing from every element. So you said it took how long to do?
Oh, so I started on this back in March, I guess, and it was just kind of had to pick on it between other projects, because it was such a big project, and it kept growing because when I first started, there were only 3 hotels on board. So it was like, okay,
That's
3
right.
key cards, and then they added another. I was like, oh, okay, 4. I can do that. And then right before we had to go to press, they added a 5th hotel.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, we can do this. We can make this happen. DragonCon was great to work with. They were pretty hands-off. They just let me draw whatever dumb thing I had in my mind.
Well, and your key cards are going to be very hands-on. There's all the host hotels have one. You can try to see if they'll give you any extra. I don't know if the host hotels will have extras to give, but you can always ask. You never know.
Yeah, I know there's a trading group on Facebook for key cards.
There is.
And I just joined that and said, hey, I drew the key cards. And yeah, so we're also selling prints in Artist Alley.
Okay.
So you could buy a print, which I think they showed on the screen here a second ago.
That's great.
And it was an edition of 100, and then it's got all the key cards on one big long image.
That's so cool. That is so cool. I see that you've worked for a lot of different clients. I'm looking at my list here, and I tried to memorize it earlier. There was just no chance. We talked last year, but you've worked for Marvel, Dark Horse, Cartoon Network, Studio Canal. It's been insanely busy for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've been working for myself for 15 years, and 4 years before that, I was the lead designer, art director for Mondo. Which just got sold to Funko, I guess. But yeah, and I've just been a freelance artist now for a very long time.
That is cool.
I do most of what I do is rock posters for bands.
Okay.
So I got to work for Metallica for 3 tours. I just did something for Lumineers. Just kind of everybody.
It's so varied. Like you hit. It's like you have a dartboard, but it's the entire wall, and you just end up in a rock band over here and Marvel over here, and
being a freelance illustrator, you just kind of got to follow the gigs, and I fell into rock poster stuff, which was nice.
That is so cool. Now, I'm also seeing Metallica, Failure, Weird Al. Weird Al.
I got to art direct for Weird Al for an entire tour. The Strings Attached tour, I think is what it was called. Yeah, 2019. So we got to produce all his tour posters, and I got to hire all the artists. I drew 2 posters for that tour, and then hired all the other artists for the other posters. And
how do you do something like that? I mean, you obviously hire them, but how do you coordinate art? Because it's such a creative process.
Yeah, so they come to us like Weird Al's
and
people.
when I say creative, I mean my art is a round head and then a line for it's a stick figure, and it's a beautiful stick figure, but nothing what you do, nothing like what you do.
You're gonna make me Bob Ross. I'm gonna be like, I can't draw a stick figure. Well, neither can I. No, so Weird Al's people came to us and said, okay, here's a list of all these dates. We need posters, individual posters for each date on the tour. Here's what we would like you to draw. And so it was like, for this date, we want it based on Dare to be Stupid. This date, we want it based on the Rambo skit from UHF. And so I call my friends who are artists and reach out to other artists and say, hey, do you want to work for Weird Al?
Oh, wow.
And everybody says yes.
Yeah. How would you ever say no?
Yeah. Nobody turned that one down. And yeah, it was great. And so you just go back and forth, say, here's a sketch, and they approve it, and then here's the final, and they approve it. And then I also own a silkscreen print shop.
Oh, wow.
In Austin, Texas. So Nakatomi is my print shop. And so we print for a lot of other artists as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you have those connections in multiple ways.
Yeah, so I own the means of production.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. Now, I want to say about the key card specifically. You hit the tone and the feel of DragonCon so perfectly. How did you come up with the key cards? Like, how did you come up with the concept?
Well, so Jamie said he wanted to do like a version of the cosplay parade across all the key cards. And, I attended the cosplay parade last year and watched some videos and just kind of got a feel for the vibe. And I just said, well, I'm not bound by physical reality to draw this stuff, so I could do whatever crazy thing I wanted to. And really, it's just like the weird random firings of my neurons. I was like, oh, I want to draw a Hiss tank from G.I. Joe, and it'd be funny if Tank Girl was in the Hiss tank, and, just weird
That's
little
cool.
puns. I put, the Mandalorian in a DeLorean because I'm a dad and I make dad jokes, I guess.
We get along very well.
Okay,
yes.
There you go.
That's awesome. I want to say, Nakatomi, excuse me. I'm so blinded by your art and how beautiful it is. I'm mispronouncing words. Nakatomi Print, it produced band posters, but you do more than just that. What do you do with your shop and everything else?
So we own the silkscreen shop, so we do print for a lot of other bands and artists, even stuff that's not on the website. But we also manage art prints.
Oh, that's beautiful right there.
Oh yeah, so that's my cat Pickles.
That's your actual cat?
That's my cat Pickles, yes. That poster was originally drawn for the band Pussifer.
Okay.
And they wanted, just like chaotic stuff for their art prints, so they kind of let me run with it. But yeah, we do T-shirts. I manage all the posters for the Bernie Wrightson estate. So I used to work with Bernie back when he was live, and I've worked with his estate since he's passed. And we produce all his art prints. And
that's awesome.
It's a lot of just art from friends. Like I'm friends with comic book artist Paul Pope, so we print his art posters. And and from that you just kind of network and make it go from there.
Now, you're not just at the art show this year. You're doing something else. I think you've got a panel even on Saturday.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
I would love to tell you about it if I knew anything about it. I think part of being a guest means I'm required to do a panel, and I love doing panels. But
I'm looking to see if I know anything about it. And
what is the title of the panel? I don't even know.
Defining Your Style as an Artist. It's Saturday at 5:30 p.m. at the America's Mart, Building 2, Room 204J.
Okay.
That's all I've got here, and of course we've got that Black Keys image that we had up just a moment ago. So I think you'll probably be talking a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'll probably talk about just the artwork and prints and how I do this stuff. This room is super distracting. There's blood everywhere.
There is blood everywhere, and we were talking about how important it is, and how vital. Literally, every drop of blood that is given here.
So that's why there's no free samples.
That's why there's no free samples. You got it. It will be used within 48 hours, we found out.
Oh, really?
48 hours.
Wow, it's just like,
like that.
That's the shorter lifespan than milk.
It is very short.
Okay.
You know, I want to say that I wish we could have another hour just to sit and talk and show off your art.
I can do that.
I know that you've got that panel, and we don't want to take you away from all the great discussion there.
Right.
But most importantly, you know, take a look at that key card, take a look at the art, go to Artist Alley and check out what Tim has there for you. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming to DragonCon this year.
Problem.
Thank
Well,
you for
thank
your
you
art.
very much.
It's great to have you, and of course, we can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, I plan on doing the show every year. It was fantastic last year, and the reception was so big that they asked me to do the key cards, and now I kind of have to do this show every year. It's wonderful.
It's wonderful to have you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tim. You know, we're going to be going because we've got.
What are we doing?
So we do have a quick update for you. That momentary pause was to let you know that we actually have wrestling tonight at 8 p.m. So you've got a little bit of time to go check out wrestling. There's actually a lot happening tonight. There's also how to do DragonCon with kids. You can check that out here at the Hyatt, and that is tonight at 7:30. But you can also go check it out tomorrow morning at 11:30. Excuse me, tonight at 7 p.m. and tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. It's a great thing for families to do, to go check out. You know, how do you do DragonCon with kids? How do you go and participate in something that's so vast and varied? It can feel overwhelming. Well, the kids track has that for you to kind of go and have some fun. And we're going to be going into DragonCon Wrestling at 8 p.m. It'll be live from the Hyatt Centennial Ballroom. But I'm going to tell you, you can watch it on DragonConTV, but why not go and actually watch it live? It is so very cool. And if you haven't gotten your key card yet or haven't gotten your art yet, please go to Tim's booth. Please go check out his panel on Saturday and go support, because your art's amazing. Thank you so much.
It's Artist Alley, booth B16, 4th floor of America's Mart, Building 2.
There you go.
I can't believe
Artist
I
Alley,
memorized
4th
that.
floor. I love it.
All right.
Thanks for having us tonight. Thank you for being here.
Well,
and thank you to
awesome.
everyone who's donating to the blood drive or to cure childhood cancer. It's so very important. I just cannot tell you how much of a difference you can make. Please give blood and be aware of how much you're helping with every penny that you can donate and every drop of blood. Have a great evening. I will see you back tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. here for DragonCon Update. We'll actually be coming to you live from the art show, and of course, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I said 9:30 on the Late Show last night. I was mistaken. It's at 9 a.m. You're going to be able to see the Late Show in the morning here at the Hyatt. We cannot wait to see you. Have a great evening.
All right.